Hi everybody, we're taking a look at the Hobbico Nexstar Mini EP trainer. I'm Rob Gornick with Two Brothers Hobby.
And I'm Kurt Gornick. Now, the neat thing about the Nexstar Mini EP is it builds off the foundation established by the larger Nexstar that's been around from Hobbico for a number of years. A proven trainer, a great platform to start off with, and the intentions with the Mini Nexstar is that it gives you the same airframe stability, predictability in the air. So we're going to put it through its paces, put it all together, take it out the field and fly it. We're going to start off by talking about what you see when you pull it out of the kit. Rob's going to cover the airframe details, so over to you.
All right. When you told me we were getting a Nexstar Mini, I assumed it was probably going to be a foam trainer. I never really looked into what it was involved as far as the construction, but I was really surprised to find that this is a build-up balsa plane as a trainer. It's a very high quality, nice solid build. Obviously can take some of the abuse that a first-time pilot's going to put through it. The quality of the covering is nice. It's a very attractive plane. For a first-time pilot, this being their first plane, this would be a nice one to have. Control surfaces are all pre-hinged. Everything's done for you at the factory. Build-up control surfaces, very nicely done. Covering is very nice, very few wrinkles, which is to be expected during shipping. Control horns are a high-quality control horn, very simple setup. They've foregone the typical Z-bend into a flimsy control horn. I like that. That's nice. The main wing build up again. Nice quality job. Everything looks nice and flat and straight. Control surfaces pre-hinged. Servos already installed. Servo extensions be put on this and you're ready to go. Control horns all set up on that also. This is a two-piece wing that screws together. Some of the nice features that emphasize its fact as a trainer is excuse me, the speed brake training flaps that you can put on, which will give a much more controlled flight characteristics for the first time pilot. They also include the spin control airfoil extension here on the end of the wings, which will give a much more stable flight, and as your experience grows, these are just taped on so they can be removed, allow you to do some more aerobatic maneuvers with the plane. Very low part count on the bag. You've got propeller, a couple servo extensions, a few screws to put everything together, and a prop adapter, which makes it very nice for a first-time pilot. A beginner could easily work their way through this without any trouble. Maybe get a little assistance on the setup if needed, but for an experienced person wanting to have a trainer of their own, just because of the fact of the quality of the build, it's a nice plane to have. You probably have this thing up and running in about an hour, I would think. First-time pilot, maybe a couple hours. Take your time, make sure you're doing everything according to the directions, and I think you get yourself through it pretty easy. And you know, that pretty much covers the build. It's not a lot involved. So Kurt, why don't you explain a little bit what's going on with the electronics and what they can expect with that, and give a little more detail as to what the RXR means.
Our Nexstar Mini EP is going to be powered by a Super Tiger electric power LiPo battery. It's 1250 milliamp, 11.1 volts with 15C discharge rate. So ample power for this setup, for the 400 Super Tiger Outrunner that we're running on it. And it's going to be controlled by a R617FS receiver, which will be mated to our T8FG transmitter, Futaba, that we'll be using in our setup. With this being an RXR plane, or RXR model, we had to supply the transmitter, we had to supply the receiver, and this will get us everything we need to have nice stable communications in the air, and great resolution on the radio, and good response time, and no worries, a worry-free radio system. Other than that, the model's already installed with the rest of the components. As Rob had mentioned, we already have the servos installed on the wings, so we have nothing to worry about there. The extensions are already pre-installed, so once we pop it in the fuselage, all we do is connect it to our receiver, and then inside the fuselage, the servos are already there for the rudder and for the elevator, and with the servo connections ready to go, and our ESC is already installed as well. It's inside the fuselage, as well as the 400 Outrunner brushless. So the radio system's very simple, straightforward, typical 4-channel configuration, and all the hard work's been done for it. The servos are already mounted, the horns are already on the servos with the linkage hanging off the horn. So it's going to be a very basic setup for us, and easy to get up in the air. So next step is to take it out and fly it.
All right, well, as usual, we'll go ahead and take some pictures while we're building. I don't foresee any problems on this build at all. Pretty straightforward. Instructions are very thorough. So as soon as we get it built, we're going to be out to the field flying, and we'll definitely record what happens there and let you know what's going on.
Well, let's do it.
All right, sounds good.